Hello and welcome back to Game Start. I'm your host, Bardic Knowledge, and I just tested my little hypothesis, and it was not the frame rate. So I don't know why, but it's doing 4 beams on the main screen and 2 beams on the recording. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to live with it. Although something else... Sorry, Robo, but kicking you back out of the party for the girls. Now that we've got our Dreamstone, and I forgot that Chrono's been using a lot of magic, and we didn't heal before moving on. And then if anything survives that, same. Wonder if that'll happen with any of the other games. Well, any of the other SNES games. I don't know. We'll see. Oop. I was not really paying attention. I was staring straight at the screen and like... Oh, whoops, fight. But they're a really easy fight. A little bit squeaky, apparently. Okay. There was something else I was thinking about. Oh, yes. The quality of my recording. Because I realized with one of my recent uploads that my recording quality is at 480, and as someone who likes to watch stuff in 720, I need to figure out why and fix it. I think I may have an idea as to why, and I'll give that an experiment after this. Lots of experimentation while I move. Alright, Melchior, we have ourselves some, Dreamstone.
You found some Dreamstone? Then I'll repair the Masamune. How on earth did you get the Masamune? And the Dreamstone? No, don't tell me. I don't think my heart could take it. It will take a little while to fix this.
I'll lend a hand. I'd presume he needs a hand, Luca. Yeah, there's a slight hierarchy where if you have Robo in your party, he helps out. But if you have Luca and Robo, Luca's the one who helps out. There's a tiered list of sorts for a lot of these scenes where multiple characters can help out.
To repair the Masamune, we must process the Dreamstone and activate the sword. You work on the Dreamstone, and I'll work on the sword.
Okay, leave it to Luca the Great. Because it was the same thing with when you pick up the Masamune from Frog's house, where if Luca's the one there, she translates the sword, and if Robo's there with her, she's still the one who does it. But if she's not and he is, he's the one who translates it.
Alright, it's done. Now bring me the Dreamstone.
I'm done here too. Well, I should hope so. He needs you to bring the Dreamstone now.
Alright, let's get started.
And technically you should be able to just walk around while they're doing all this, but... I hope you're not watching this in a dark room.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
And the Masamune is repaired.
Take a good look. This is the Masamune.
And in the original Japanese, it was instead the Grand Lion.
Awesome! What a weapon!
Well, I think that's everything.
Okay, Chrono, let's take the Masamune to Frog. Because I actually kind of prefer the Grand Leon name to the Masamune. In part because Masamune is the name for a Japanese swordsmith and his creations. They're ergo katanas. Whereas the Grand Leon is a broadsword, which is what the Chrono Trigger weapon is. I mean, what I mean to say is, being a European broadsword, Grand Leon makes much more sense than Masamune, since that is the name of a Japanese swordsmith's. Why did I make that a possessive noun? I've gotten my point across, I hope. Plus it works in well with something from Chrono Cross, which I may see if I can figure out a way to play that for recording. I'll have to, guess what, experiment on that, just to see if I can find a way. I do own it, but my PS2 is at a friend's. I let him borrow it so he could play Dokapon Kingdom, which is a amusing little party game. Not a good idea to play with computer opponents, but with Chrono Cross, the Masamune gets upgraded into the Master Mune, but it's a slight spoiler for later in the game, but you eventually meet a third Finori, as I've explained previously is the name I like to call Masa and Mune's people, named Doreen, which is the Japanese word or pronunciation of dream. And in Chrono Cross, that upgrade happens when Doreen joins Masa and Mune in the sword. And in the original Japanese, the Grand Leon becomes the Grand Dream, which means that Leon would be left out. I never thought about that before. Anyways, we have your sword, Glenn. 'Tis thee again. I do not remember his voice at all.
This sword is the Masamune? I must ponder this turn of events. Remaineth here the night.
I wonder why they put that in apostrophe there. Flashback time!
Cyrus, are you leaving?
Yes, it is time we took back the medal from the Frog King. And I'd like to see that mythical sword for myself. But Cyrus, the kingdom needs you. And Lean and I need you. You must return to us. As long as there is life in these bones, I shall return. By your leave.
To Cyrus! We, the Knights of the Square Table, wish you a safe journey.
Listen well, my friends. I now entrust the safety of the kingdom to you. Pardon the delay. Shall we be off?
Glenn,
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Glenn, you be careful too.
Be of sound health, your majesty. And now for a monster whose only appearance is in this cutscene. The Frog King. You never fight anyone who looks like that. And there's this strange girl with Cyrus and Glenn. No explanation for her either.
So you want the badge of courage, dear Knight of the Kingdom? Well, come and take it, if you can.
Prepare yourself, Pollywog. On guard. Nirvana strike.
How dare you pick on a helpless amphibian? Filthy metal. I won't forget this.
Turning slightly Gollum at the end there. And then we skip ahead even further. Ah!
Beware, Glenn.
Cyrus! The sword! The Masamune!
Yeah, is that the best you can do? Without your sword, you're nothing.
Ah, you haven't beaten me yet.
Cyrus and the goner.
Glenn, escape while I keep them at bay.
But
If you stay, they'll get us both. Go on, Glenn. You'd better worry more about
Dang it.
You'd better worry more about yourself, Cyrus.
Excuse me.
Come on, Glenn. Go.
Rawr! Cyrus!
Run, Glenn. The Queen. Take care of Dean.
Cyrus? Cyrus!
What's the matter? Aren't you going to try your luck?
Yeah, got your tongue, kid? How about it, Magus? Can't you give him a more fitting form?
Alright. Why not? There's always time for a little fun.
A little hard to tell, but I think it's kind of obvious. Is when I'm looking to the right there, I'm actually just looking at my face. I should be paying closer attention to what I'm playing and not looking at me. Why am I even constantly looking at me? It doesn't make much sense. Anyways.
You spineless wimp.
Not sure if that's the voice I gave Ozzy before, but I like that voice for him now. "10 years hath passed. I don't know, I've already forgotten what voice I gave him before this cutscene, but since I was just using my own natural voice for him not transformed, I will use my natural voice for him post-transformed with an accent. Can I do it? I've changed so much. Alas, poor Cyrus. And that's it. That was that cutscene. This episode has been mostly cutscene. Awaken, Chrono. Though we may fail, let us go to Magus's lair. Thou knowest his power.
Nothing can beat science.
That was a bit less Luca, a bit more Ozzy.
we won't be beaten by a bad guy.
Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm gonna do more grinding in the hunting grounds. This time, well, actually first, I'll extend the length of this episode slightly by showing you by taking a trip to the end of time and showing you what Specchio has to say about Robo and Glenn. Then I will go to the hunting grounds. I learned a tech, or I learned the blade toss tech. I think that's Frog and Robo. Darn it. Yep, it is. And one more. Okay, moving on. This is where I kind of wish I could just teleport straight to the end of time from wherever I happen to be. Since you can apparently do the do that with the gate key with everyone except Chrono and whomever is plot critical. And I just remembered I should check. He did not equip. Oh, that's right. He hasn't technically received it yet. I'm not sure why he wouldn't have received it, but, except that there's a super awesome cutscene that happens where, he officially gains the Masamune, even though he should have it after you tried to give it to him in his house. It is one cutscene that I actually really liked the animation from the, PlayStation release. Though it was kind of silly, was that you, it didn't, none of the animated cutscenes in the PlayStation release replaced the cutscenes from the game proper. So you'd see the animation, then you'd see the proper animation. Alright. And oh hey, Specchio's got an upgrade. That's the biggest toy I've ever seen. Hey, you're not alive, are you? You've got great strength, however. You've got great strength. However, since I can't measure your inner character, I can't give any magic to you. But your laser weapons will suffice. They can inflict shadow-type damage. What a weird fellow. Being a frog, let's give him water. Ipso facto minimo magico. Robo can't use magic. Frog learned to use magic. Alright. I'm not gonna fight Specchio this time, because you'll just crush me again. And, I will go through this door. There we go. Save my game. And bid you all till the next, live well.